All right, next up, we're going to talk a little bit about risk and liability. I don't know if I've gotten to introduce myself yet because I was gone on Monday. I've been sick, but my name is Elise Ingolstadter, and I'm the graduate assistant for the Office of Leadership and Engagement with Meredith. However, I mainly focus and work with the fraternity and sorority life organizations on campus. So we're going to talk a little bit about risk and liability. We've touched on it a little bit, but basically whenever you're planning an event or activity, kind of how when we talk about inclusivity, risk should also be one of those first things you're thinking about before you're even planning the event. So you want to make sure you're taking any sort of steps you can to reduce any harm and mediate that risk. So you are responsible for complying with the law and campus policies in order to ensure that all of the risks associated with the activity are being assessed. And you want to help develop plans to minimize this. This could include something like a crisis response plan, or even a risk waiver or a risk management plan that can be helpful in successful and safe events. So a lot of time in your True Blue events, if say you're hosting an ultimate frisbee tournament as like a fundraiser, I might put in the comments and say, okay, what is your risk plan in case someone could get injured? Because that is one of those events that could have some physical risk. So you can create your own risk plan, or you can use one that we've created a template for you, which might be helpful. You can find it by using that link there on the slides. But basically, this is just to help make sure everyone is safe at all of your events. I think we have a next slide talking about some of the specific kinds of risks. So my example was the one I think a lot of people initially think of, such as physical risks. So that's like when you're having a sporting event. So to help mitigate that risk, you might want to hire refs, ensure you have proper equipment, make sure you have a first aid kit and water on hand, things like that. However, you need to think about risks that are in the other four categories. So there's also things called reputation risks. This involves individual officers and members, the organization as a whole, and even reputation damage to NAU. This could include acting poorly if your group is out at a conference or if you post some sort of social media post that has a negative connotation. Basically just anything that's representing you or your organization negatively. There are also emotional risks. So this is when the feelings of members and participants could be harmed during the event or activity. This could include what Meredith was just talking about with hazing of members. This could also be emotional risks such as having a lack of accessibility for all participants with disabilities. This could also be just having some sort of controversial subject matter that could hurt someone's emotions or feelings at that event. So you want to always be thinking about that as well. Next, there are financial risks, and we talk about a lot how events can be expensive, and that's why we have all these funding opportunities for you all. But if we're not taking proper caution with finances when we're planning events, it can really do a lot of damage to financial health of the student organization. So this could be poor budgeting or mismanaging the organization's funds. And a lot of people, maybe members of the org, are contributing to these funds, so this could be damaging their personal finances as well. And then lastly, we have the facilities risks. So it's important to have proper safety and maintenance when we're using facilities. So to ensure this, you might want to have a setup plan as well as a cleanup plan. If anything is damaged, you want to make sure that you let the university know. And especially if you're using community facilities off campus, same rules apply. Even if you're at a member's house, you want to make sure that you are treating the facilities with proper care.